Well, Genie Plus went down today, and boy, was it a mess. Holidays have been announced. We're excited about that part. Halloween is almost here. We're going to talk about all of that and more tonight on ParksCenter. Welcome to ParksCenter for October 8th, 2023. I'm your host, Rob Whiteside. Thank you guys, as always, for being with us. We really appreciate you. If you haven't been to ParksCenter before, we give you 60 minutes worth of all the stuff that happened in Disney in a consolidated, fast, rapid pace so that, you have fun. Hopefully you have fun. If you can, please make sure to subscribe to WDWNT TV. Also, give us a like because it helps people to find us. And you know what? Chat with us, super chat. We just want to talk to you. Where have you been? Tonight's panel, start with Miss Kamila. How are you?
Hi, happy Sunday, everyone.
And Desi.
Hey, howdy, hey.
And Megan. How are you, Megan?
Hi, I'm good. Very excited to be here.
Megan is in California where it's hot. Is it hot?
It's hot.
Okay.
It's hot.
All right.
We had a bit of a heat wave, yes.
And I'm being mean, and I said don't turn on the fan, so I apologize.
Okay.
I'll
just sweat. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Also, just to shout out that Megan is now engaged. So congratulations, Megan, on the big engagement. This is exciting. For all of the days I've known you, this is the most excited I've ever been for you.
Oh, I so appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Just making sure you know.
It hasn't been long, but thank you.
No, yeah, congratulations. All right, so let's get right into it. This week we're going to talk about, I've labeled this Genie Minus. There was a little bit of a problem, and anybody who watches this show knows we're such huge fans of Genie Plus. It was kind of a pain when you used to be able to schedule 3 fast passes for free ahead of time, and they've just made it really super convenient for us to pay them lots of money in some weird scaled way, and today people paid $29 for all 4 parks in Florida, and then got the "pardon our inconvenience" message, and then decided to line up at all of the guest experiences to get their money back. This is very frustrating. I would be losing it because this is like Disney is trying to, they tell us they're trying to make our experience more magical with Genie Plus, and sometimes it can be, and a lot of times, or more times than not, it can't be. I want to go to Kamila on this one first and get your thoughts on it. Is this just a glitch and we should forgive Disney, or can we finally use this to get rid of Genie Plus?
Well, I do think things happen. Sometimes there's a bear in Magic Kingdom, and so you have to shut down half the park. Sometimes there's a glitch in this very complicated technology that they have, and you have to deal with that. I mean, as all of us do, we work with technology in and out throughout the day. My main thought is, if we want this system to be easier, what's the answer outside of doing what Universal does with their Express Pass system? And so, I think we're going to continue to live in this world with these paid access to rides, and the question is, in what format? So I think it depends on how often something like this happens.
Okay, and Megan, you spend a lot of time in the parks, and of course in Disneyland it didn't go down today. It was perfectly fine, but what has been your experience with Genie Plus? Do you feel like people are usually frustrated by it, or is it just a godsend?
I gotta be honest, I have only used it personally myself twice ever since its inception. I think it's nice to have. It's very similar to what we had in the past, which was Max Pass. I think that's what it was called. Like my brain's not working. Max Pass, thank you. And so it does work well over in our 2-park resort. It ranges from $25 to $30, and of course Magic Key holders get 25% off. So that's something. But I'm a big fan of the analog, and I still think that we should have some sort of free option. Maybe some sort of tiered system where it's just like you can still go to a few rides with a quote unquote fast pass per day. I'm not like a big huge fan of making everything digital, because then stuff like this happens. Technology fails. We know this. And people get upset.
Yeah. When you say analog, you want paper fast passes back, right? Because I totally want paper fast passes back.
Totally. I'm a huge.
That was my jam.
Yeah. Big fan of paper. Yes. And just like Kamala was saying, that a Universal, they have an actual ticket that you scan. So something like that would be nice.
And Desi, why are you pro Genie Plus?
I hate to admit this, but I actually used Genie Plus last weekend and I felt really
See?
bad about it. But my kids had never been on Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and I felt like there's no way I'm ever waiting 80 minutes to ride that ride. So I went ahead and I bought it. Um, and we did have a great time and it worked flawlessly. Um, but I could imagine if this is your one time coming to the park and you think this is how I'm going to be able to try to get everything done, and then that happens, it completely ruins your day. Um, but on the other hand, if you've paid for this service to not wait in line, why do you have to wait in a line to try to get refunded for it? Shouldn't they just give automatic refunds? I don't
Yeah.
understand why I have to wait in a line because I paid to not wait in a line.
I need you to immediately stop making sense, please. Can you just immediately, right now, just stop making any kind of sense whatsoever? No, that's a great point. I mean, everything they've tried to move, like DAS and other things, to to the app to be able to do it and help like self-service. It should have been not a partner inconvenience, but it should have been a, hey, this is down. Here's your money back. When it comes back up, we'll let you have it for free. Boy, wouldn't that have been some magic for the day? So. I don't know. I get a little frustrated with it. I agree, Megan. Max Pass. It was one of those things that at first I was like, I don't like this, and then when I got there, I was like, okay, well, you get free photos and free parking, and you get a discount on it if you're an annual pass holder. You could buy one for the entire run of your annual pass. It was great, and then Genie Plus found a way to take even more money. I don't disagree. It can be helpful for people who are there a short amount of time, but the old system worked. I mean, that's the only thing. The old system worked, and it was one of those things where I wish they would have just raised the ticket price for however much they needed. Disney, tell me how much money you need, and then I'll pay you that much money, and then please just give me free Fast Pass back. Because, again, either way, we're paying for it, I'm sure. So let's move on to talk about the holidays. A lot of interesting things have happened in the fact that it's just barely October, and we're talking about Christmas. But, again, I get that a lot of people need to make their plans for the holidays, and Megan, you've been in the parks and you've already seen holiday merchandise out, right?
Lots of holiday merch at the Disneyland Resort has dropped. Yes, quite a bit. I think most of the collection for this year is in World of Disney right now. So I mean, it's cool. They're getting it out early, I guess, to get a head start on the shopping. But it's also like, okay, we're still weeks away from Halloween. Like, wow, this feels really, really early. So I like the collection. I like a few of the items. But yeah, it just seems very, very early this year.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's one of those where I would have expected this stuff to come out, I don't know, November 1st. That would have seemed to make a little bit more sense, but I know, I mean, people have to get ready for Christmas. So the Candlelight Processional has been announced at EPCOT, and I'm very excited about this year's lineup. Desi, I don't know if you ever go, but is there somebody that's a standout for you this year that you're excited to see?
Yes, Brendan Fraser will be there on my birthday, so I feel like I need to go. I realize it's in the middle of the week, but I think I am willing to take the kids out of school and go for my birthday to watch Brendan Fraser do the Candlelight Processional. Huge George of the Jungle fan. If you haven't watched our review yet on Deep in the Plus, please go watch that. He was also great in The Whale, so super excited.
Megan's mouth was hanging open. Are you a Brendan Fraser fan?
Fraser.
Fraser. Like Razor.
Fraser, yes. I do love him. Yes, ever since George of the Jungle.
Fantastic. You guys can get together afterwards and talk about George of the Jungle. I mean, I think that the lineup looks pretty good this year. There's a lot of nope, that was definitely not what I wanted to do. Hold on, please. There we go. We're back. There were definitely a lot of new people coming this year. So Chrissy Metz from what was the name of that show on NBC? The
This
sad
Is
one.
Us.
This Is Us. There you go. Yeah, and Margaret, and then some returning ones like Eva Longoria. And then no, she's new, and then Joey McIntyre is new. But I was gonna say Neil Patrick Harris. Like I would still love to see Neil Patrick Harris do this live. And then there are also some dining packages to be had for this. So, Kamila, who's your favorite?
I was hoping you were going to ask me. I'm going to be
Yep.
honest. None of this is getting me to this event. Sorry, um, but I'm excited for those of you who are excited.
Wow. Okay. Not even Jordan Fisher.
No,
Ah.
And
Wow.
definitely
Margaret
not.
from Viva Las Vegas and Bye
Yeah.
Bye Birdie. I
John
mean,
Stamos. Hello. You're not excited about John Stamos
It's
coming?
not doing it for me. It's not doing it. Why?
Yeah.
Someone from Abbott Elementary? Like, they have so many hits on like the ABC side. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I looked at this and I was like, where? I don't know. Nothing is in there for me.
not even NPH.
Yeah.
No.
Come on. That's universal. Everybody needs to.
I don't dislike anyone, but no.
Okay. All right. So let me ask this question, and I don't know. I'll just ask this to the group, and anybody can buzz in. I feel like things have been really quiet about Jollywood Nights. Am I wrong on that one? Because this is a brand new event coming to Hollywood Studios that used to be kind of like the epicenter of all things Christmas for Florida when we had the Osborne lights, and they've tried to bring it back. But I haven't heard much about it. I mean, obviously they rolled out. They got Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. It's coming back. It's already sold out a few shows or a few nights. And then, Festival of Holidays was the big rollout here. But Desi, did you buy a ticket for Jollywood Nights? Because I'm excited about that one.
No, I'm not typically an after hours ticket purchaser because I feel like they get enough of my money throughout the year with just my annual pass and how much I go and spend money on food and merchandise. So it's holiday parties just aren't my thing, but I know a lot of people who are excited about it. I think the Tip Top Club at Tower of Terror sounds like it's going to be fun. But yeah, I haven't heard a whole lot about it recently. Maybe they just don't want any spoilers and they want to surprise everybody with whatever they have in store.
Well, it's not
So,
working because the tickets are not selling. So spoilers are not working for them whatsoever. Kamila?
well, I will say, so I do have a ticket to I think it's a November 11th show or event, and
Yeah, I called
I
it that
was
too.
noticing, I was noticing the same thing. Like I was trying to do some of my final planning, and I booked the Riviera, like just because I'm going to this to be able to like be kind of in the area. But I was wondering the same thing, like what is it? And like even just trying to find some basic details. What time can I get in? Like what's happening there? I agree. It's kind of like, what do I need to do? And they kind of like allude to you should dress kind of like old Hollywood glam, and I'm very curious to learn more about what it will be. 'Cause I have the same
So,
questions.
so it's Dapper Day at Night. Desi, come on. That's like a page out of your book. Why wouldn't you want to do that? I mean, I feel
That
like
does
that's
sound like
like,
something I would enjoy.
Join me,
yeah.
When
Desi.
Kamila said that, I was like, "Oh, that does sound like fun. Maybe I'll go on November 11th and I'll just leave the husband and kids at home,
I love that it
just
sounded
like the
very,
Star Cruiser."
I was going to say it sounded
Yes.
very Darth Vader when she said that. Join me, Desi, and together we will go to Jollywood Nights. I do want to say a thank you to Jungle Cruiser for a super chat. Rob, here's some of the cash to cover your $80 purchase last week. That's another story. Who needs Genie Plus? I have used it once. And was disappointed in the wait. Plus, I love the old school vibes waiting with others. That's true. I mean, you do miss a lot in waiting in the queue, especially like I know Universal. You had talked about that one, like, the Universal, there's some stuff you miss if you don't go through the right queues. Like if you don't go through a regular queue, you get like a truncated pre-show, but maybe they just feel like, you don't need it, or maybe the pre-show is just to keep us busy. What? That's crazy. I do believe though that, that they should, again, kind of go back to something where they give you at least a few for free. And if you want to pay for an upgraded experience, do that. But yeah, so Jollywood Nights, and again, thank you, Jungle Cruiser. And the $80 purchase he was talking about was an $80 Mickey Mouse pop that I saw at Sam's. And yeah, it's a problem. We could talk about that later. But again, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. Back to the holiday thing, though. So Festival of Holidays is awesome. I love doing the candlelight processional. Sorry, Kamila. Um, but I've seen Joe
Okay.
Morgan, Cal Ripken Jr., Simu Liu, and Ming Na. Those are the four that I've seen, and I usually buy a dining package because I don't want to have to wait or end up being out in the rain or the cold or whatever. So I love that part. I love that the Festival of Holidays kind of is a takeover feel vibe with all the food booths, and those have been announced, and then all the traditions from the different countries, and that's a cool thing to do. So is there a favorite for you, Desi? Because I know you're local, you go a little bit more often. When you see festival holidays, is there like, oh great, the thing that's coming back is, and it could be Candlelight Processional, but I assume there's some other things that you like about it.
I mean, I like seeing all of the different storytellers around World Showcase as well. So I know like Père Noël will be there, you know, those kinds of things. And of course, just seeing all of the trees, like the tree at EPCOT, the tree at Magic Kingdom, the tree at Hollywood, all of the trees and how they're decorated and themed. It puts me in the holiday spirit.
Okay. And really what I wanted to talk to Megan about tonight was the new popcorn bucket. That's coming to Disneyland for the holidays, the Mickey Mouse popcorn bucket. It's a toy soldier. Have you seen it? Do you love it? How many are you going to buy?
I've seen it. I love it. I am not the biggest popcorn bucket person. I gotta be quite honest. I only have like two, maybe, currently. There are others. I have two others that are sitting in storage. Maybe it's a hard maybe for me, but that's saying something because I don't usually buy popcorn buckets, no matter how cute they are. So,
I mean,
it's adorable.
but look,
I know,
but look,
it's so
he's so cute.
he's like half toy, half like nutcracker kind of. It's really cute. It's really cute. He looks exactly like the guys in the Christmas Fantasy Parade, which is
Yes.
I love the toy soldiers. Yes. So maybe. Still, capital M.
It's a capital maybe. I gotcha. Okay, and that's fine.
Yes.
So let me ask you one more question about the holidays out west. Is the Viva Navidad? Have you done it before? And are you excited about that coming back?
I'm very excited. That's actually one of my favorite parts of Christmas at California Adventure. I love that they do that over in the Paradise Gardens area. It's so cute. The whole, like, they have a little parade that comes through. I think it's kind of a parade. It's more like maybe a cavalcade with all the characters, and just the cultural festivities that happen over there are so awesome, and that happens a couple times a day. Yeah, I am very excited for that to return, and I'm glad they're bringing it back with the festival holidays.
Yep. I'm excited about that one too, and you can check out our website. There's some pictures of the new, like a preview of the costumes for the Three Caballeros and Mickey and Minnie, and it looks awesome. Desi, I have one last question directed at you, which is about the Living with the Land overlay. They're calling it an overlay. I think it's like they add little things to it, but they're like literally advertising it as a full-scale overlay. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm excited about it, but I mean, how do you feel about that one? Is it an overlay? I mean, is it a big deal?
I mean, yeah, it counts, and I guess Figment wearing a sweater counts too. Living with the Land is like my kid's favorite ride, so I'm sure they are going to love it. The Tomato Girl is their favorite character.
I think that there's been some mind play with them on that one, because I feel like you probably made that their favorite. So let's move on to more Halloween. There was a live stream of the Oogie Boogie Bash parade, the Frightfully Fun parade the other night, and that's great, but I feel like that's just they're being mean because it's sold out. Like, and I guess it's nice that you can see that, but you've been to Oogie Boogie Bash this year at least a couple of times, Megan, right? And
Twice, yeah.
you've gotten to see everything there. Is it? I mean, why are they throwing us this bone? Shouldn't they just add more shows? I mean, more nights. Why do I keep calling it shows? I don't know.
I know. I felt that a little bit too, and I felt bad that was able to go twice. I bought two tickets on the Magic Key pre-release there, the pre-purchase day, 2 days before general on sale, and I felt bad. I was like, shoot, am I like taking a spot of someone? Like, I'm sorry. But I had to work, and then I wanted a fun time to myself and best friends. So yeah, I think streaming it when it sold out within 9 to 11 hours on that day, I don't know, it might be a little bit of an in your face kind of thing, but maybe they wanted to just like do a little bit more exposure than they've done previous years, because they've never done that before for people who couldn't attend. So maybe they were trying, but it might have come off wrong.
Yeah, and I don't understand why they don't do more. Clearly, it's a moneymaker. Clearly, people love it, but they have such limited dates, whereas Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party just sold out, except for if you want to go on November 1st, I believe there are still tickets left right now. If you want to celebrate Halloween on the day you should officially start celebrating Christmas, then yeah, there's still a ticket there for you. But I mean, Oogie Boogie Bash, they go quickly. I know it brought down their system, and so I don't know. I feel like that they maybe should add more. Speaking of adding more, they've added to the Polynesian, they've added a Vampire Stitch cupcake. Basically, it looks like they put two fangs on the existing cake that they already make. But look how Desi's she's all excited about that. Are you going to go right to the Poly to get one?
Yes, probably. I mean, Stitch is my favorite character, and look how cute with the like collar and the fangs. Adorable. Yeah. I guess I have to read the review first to see if it's worth eating, but
no, you don't. You just want to go get a picture for Instagram. You don't need to. It doesn't need to taste good. That's not what it's designed for. It's designed for Instagram, and we all know it. Speaking of weird things, though, what about this thing? This roving DJ that's coming to Disney Springs in like a rolling pumpkin. It looks like. This looks like a party waiting to happen. I honestly need to hear Camila's thoughts on this.
I like this. I like these kinds of things. I always feel like there's an opportunity for Disney to do more in Disney Springs because it's so spread out, and especially these kinds of promotional things that maybe aren't appropriate for inside the parks. I think Disney Springs is great for that. So I like everything about this. Okay.
All right. Fair enough. And Megan, what do you think of all the puns? Huluween. They have a group singing called the Ghouls. How are you feeling about that?
You know, I'm for some reason I'm a big dad joke and pun fan. So sometimes they miss the mark though, like there's missed opportunities, but those are okay. Huluween and Squad Ghouls. That's not bad. Those aren't bad.
And Zombeats drummers. Zombeats.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, somebody got paid a lot of money to come up with these, so I hope that they work. And it may just be, like you said, maybe just somebody like me sitting in an office and they come in and go, "What do you think of this?" It's like, Zombeats. Brilliant. You did it again, Dan.
Genius.
One more.
I would have.
Yeah. What?
I would have gone with Spice Ghouls.
Spice
I think
Ghouls.
Spice Ghouls would have been fun.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
That's better. That's better. You did it. I honestly, we went to that D23 Destination D23 event, and they had a DJ on a bike, and it was like DJ Mike on the bike or something like that, and it was just a bicycle with like really good speakers, and he was like DJing from a three-wheeled, I guess it's technically a tricycle, but for a bike in the park, and this kind of looks like the same thing with this jack-o'-lantern that rolls around.
They have a piano player that rolls around at Disney Springs now too. So apparently that's a thing.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kamala.
Performers
Though
on wheels.
I think like raising the bar at Disney Springs and giving people more of a reason to be there is one of the things that's a real standout for them. So that's exciting. And any other comments from anybody on the holidays other than like you excited for it?
Yeah.
You know,
Very
my
excited.
only issue with like the holidays is how late it starts at Epcot. That's the only thing, because like, for example, I'll be there in mid-November and I'll be there for Jollywood. I'm going to the Magic Kingdom Christmas party. I'm blanking on the name, but like, it's weird to me that like I can go do all these holiday festivities, but Epcot, you know, it's kind of full festival doesn't really start, I don't think, until like a week later. And I understand, like, you know, they're finishing out food and wine, but I love the overlay of living with the land, the holiday overlay, and like just I love like when you're in Epcot in particular at Christmas time, and there's so much happening. They have so much live music, the storytellers, the cookie stroll. Like I love everything about it, but oftentimes it's just harder for me to go during those times, and so I wish they would start it a little earlier in November.
Okay. All right, so let me throw out the poll of the week to everybody. I would like to know from the people watching, and again, thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Don't forget to give us a like. Uh, what's your favorite time at Disney parks? Is it Christmas? Do pound one, hashtag one. Is it Halloween? Is it neither? Because a lot of people are like, let me stay away from those times because I know it's going to be crazy and or is it both? Like, do you have to have spooky time and Christmas time? So definitely let us know during the course of the show. We want to hear from you. So then let's go to this feature that I like to call it came from the parks. Because there were two interesting stories, and what I want to do is throw them out to this crew, and each of you pick one, and I feel like everybody's going to pick the same one, and that's fine. But I do want to give you guys the choices just so that you walk in knowing what you're talking about. The first one is this story that a woman was suing Disney after falling off a 3-foot drop on Test Track at Epcot. Now that's the first one. The second one, which I assume is the one that everybody wants to talk about, is this one, that a couple files a lawsuit against Walt Disney Parks and Resorts for a painful wedgie suffered at Typhoon Lagoon. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not what each of you want to do, but I'm going to go clockwise around. We're going to start with Kamila because I can see she desperately wants to talk about one of these. So it came from the parks. Which is the one you're picking?
So I was leaning towards the Test Track one. And
okay.
I think what's so tough about this is my understanding is like it happened during a ride evacuation. And so, to me, like you always think of those as being maybe a little on the scary side because, you're stopping in a place that's the ride isn't meant to naturally stop in, and you're trying to like follow directions, and it's just scary to me, the idea that like someone could kind of like have this stumble or this fall, and I can't imagine cast members make every effort to like practice safety first, and so many times it's guests who we see video of just getting off when they're not supposed to, and so like it just seems like a really tough situation, but it's just kind of scary to me that like, I don't know, you could be evacuating a ride because you have to, and then, falling like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. But the thing that makes me kind of question everything is this Morgan and Morgan law firm, who seems to be like at the exit to every attraction at Disney, waiting for people to come off, going, "Did something happen to you? I can help. Did something happen to you?" Like, and again, if somebody is actually hurt, and I feel for them, and especially on a very expensive trip you just paid for, having something like this happen, it's devastating at any time, but it's horrible to have that happen. But it just seems like every time there's a lawsuit, we're turning to Morgan and Morgan, so racking it up, I guess. Megan, what are you thinking?
I mean, I didn't know about either of these. I kind of wanted to talk about the wedgie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know Typhoon Lagoon, and that's just these are so bizarre. It's crazy to me how someone could think that that's grounds for a lawsuit, your own bathing suit, just getting stuck up there or something. Like that happens to me all the time at water parks. I don't think of suing, so that is just wild.
Humunga Kawa. This is the quality programming we're offering here. Humunga Kawabunga. Yeah, no, I think everybody has had that kind of a problem, but you get to the end and immediately you're thinking, let me fix this and then move on. Not who can I sue? I mean, this is why I like the ones with a raft rather than the ones where you just go down like this. I don't know. Desi, finish us off. What do you think?
$50,000 every single time, no matter whether you get whiplash on Peter Pan's flight or you fall 3 feet because you weren't paying attention to where the cast member was going, or you get a wedgie because your ankles came uncrossed. If it really is horrifying bodily injuries that were described in this article, I feel like I would want more than $50,000. If it's whiplash on Peter Pan's flight, I don't believe that for a second. I don't think you deserve $50,000. So I just think that it's really weird that every single time it's $50,000. But it does sound like from the complaint that she did suffer some really horrific things. I hope she's okay, but cross your ankles, people. Just cross your ankles.
I don't like this.
I feel bad for her, but yeah.
Cross your ankles, people. If you take home one message from this tonight, it's cross your ankles, people. That's really what we want to
Well,
see.
and in their complaint, it said like, oh, it wasn't explained to us why we needed to cross our ankles. Does it need to be explained to you why, like, you have to wear a seatbelt in the car? Does it need to be explained to you why you have to put like the harness on when you go on a roller coaster? If the cast member tells you to cross your ankles, just do it.
I guess, man, you really are a stickler. That must be a mom thing.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Moana. I don't know if you're familiar, Desi, but there is an attraction at EPCOT called Moana's Journey of Water, inspired by Moana. I keep having to fix that for myself because I'm so used to calling it Moana Journey of Water, but it's Journey of Water inspired by Moana, just so we could put an IP on it at the end, but yet still put this in EPCOT, which I look at this and it's just I think we talked about this before. It doesn't quite look like it belongs.
No. There is an aquarium in EPCOT. Okay, there is a literal manatee and sharks in EPCOT. What do you mean?
What do I mean that it doesn't look like it exists there? Is that what you're saying?
That it like doesn't belong. Like I just don't really get that argument.
Because when I look at something like this and you see the futuristic like Seas Pavilion in the background and you see what looks like, I don't know, Hawaii in the foreground, it seems weird to me. That's, yeah, I mean, they did slap some education on it because it's the water cycle when you're walking through. So I guess that does make it edutainment, which puts it into the EPCOT category for reals. So anyway, they soft opened it and now people can go in. Although I feel like this could have been open a month ago, as like everybody has had a chance to go into this, save for one. Thoughts?
Same for me, because I think last time I told you, I didn't wind up going when I had the reservation because it was a family member's birthday. Last weekend, I went on Saturday, which apparently was the only day they decided not to do pass holder previews. So I feel like somebody just doesn't want me to go see Moana, or maybe there's just a reason why you can't see Moana and me at the same time at the same place.
Oh.
Are you a friend of Moana? Is that what you're telling me? So they've also soft opened this Moana meet and greet at the Journey of Water, so that you can meet and greet Moana. I still say this is going to be, somebody's going to get in line for this and think that they're going through Journey of Water and they're going to meet Moana and they're going to go, well, I guess it's too late. I got to get my picture with Moana. But it's, both of these things are adding to EPCOT, and that's something we desperately need. I don't know. Megan, when was the last time you went to EPCOT, and are you planning a trip just so you can see this?
I went end of April this year, and I would love to go see it. I'm not planning a trip just for Journey of Water, but I would love to see it soon. So maybe, I don't know, they got that really good hotel deal in January. I might take advantage of that. So
there you
maybe
go.
In a few months. Yeah.
Okay. And these meet and greets that are happening, let me get the verbiage right, appearing intermittently, again, because this is a soft open. The actual thing opens on October, I've seen 15th and 16th, but I think it's the 16th because the 16th is the 100 years of Disney celebration, the official, which we're going to talk about 100 years later because I'm still very confused about the 100 years and how we're celebrating it. It's very strange. But it's going to be open officially then. So, I mean, everybody will be able to do it, but I think right now you've got the soft open happening with the virtual queue when needed. What are final thoughts on this one, Kamila, before we move on?
I mean, I think it's another IP to try to get families into EPCOT. I really think that's part of why EPCOT. You've got Frozen, you've got Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and now you've got this. And I think by adding the meet and greet to the end, maybe that cuts down on some people who might complain that, you know, it's not like a ride type of attraction versus a walkthrough. I'll see it in November when I'm there next. And I saw it a couple of weeks ago from the outside. People I know who have done it have had good things to say. I think it surprised a couple of people how much they did enjoy it. So I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah. I love looking in chat and seeing people use the word wedgie in chat. I don't know why. It's just funny. And again, if you haven't already, vote on our poll here so that people can, so we can see Christmas is winning by a landslide. So I'm actually a little surprised. I thought Halloween would be one of the ones that kind of took off here. So that's pretty exciting.
It might,
good.
It might just be because the Halloween season lasts so long. And Christmas, it feels like we don't get as much time with it because Halloween has lasted so long. Halloween starts in like July.
I mean, you're not wrong. My wife is a huge Thanksgiving stan. Loves it. She will tell you that the Pilgrims did not have buckles on their shoes or their hats because they couldn't afford. Like, she's all about like Thanksgiving, and she gets a little like rammy about the fact that it gets stepped on by Christmas, because as soon as we're like, you know, we put the trick-or-treat bags away, everybody's breaking out the Christmas tree, and she's like, can we just celebrate Thanksgiving for a little bit? And it's not a lot of people do, although tomorrow is Thanksgiving in Canada. I found out from Cosmic Chris Reed, who could not appear with us tonight for just that reason. So happy Thanks Canada giving, I guess. But yeah, it's I don't know. Christmas there's something special about Christmas, and again, I think a lot of us love a lot of the IP that Disney offers around around Halloween. So that's good to see Nightmare and Hocus Pocus and all that stuff. But it's really, yeah, Christmas is pretty special there. So I'm not surprised that much. But again, I thought there were a lot of people who would be all about Halloween. Let's move on to talk about Luminous, because Kamila, you love a good barge. Are you excited that there is another barge show, even if the barges are just a little smaller?
Okay, but the most important thing about these barges is they're not going to permanently live on the water. They're going to only come in, it sounds like, for the fireworks, which is great, because I feel like if they can help contribute to a great show, that's awesome. But, you know, having seen the old barges, they really did ruin the view. And, you know, I was hopeful. So if we can fix the problems of Harmonious and, you know, still get a great fireworks show, have the barges contribute something. It's not clear to me, I guess, still what they'll do. But, you know, as long as we get a great show with Luminous, then, you know, to me, the most important thing is they're not permanent during the day.
Yeah, and they certainly don't look like they have large screens on them. So, I mean, their purpose is a good question. Like, what exactly will they be doing? Well, it looks like maybe lights, probably some fireworks will be set off from these, but it doesn't look like there's a screen option. Maybe it'll be something in the World of Color realm where they'll spray something and project onto it. But that is the cool thing that I did like about Harmonious. There's so many us's between Wondrous, Harmonious, and Luminous that I get them all mixed up. But that I did like about Harmonious is that you could get a good view from basically anywhere around the World Showcase Lagoon. That was a cool thing to me at night, not during the day. Obviously, they were a little bit of an eyesore. So if they could have had those same size barges but only brought them in for a couple hours out of the day, that would probably have been better. There also are dining packages already available. This thing is supposed to open on December 5th. So if you need to see EPCOT forever again, come see it before it goes away. They'll keep it in their back pocket and bring it back any minute now. But the same thing with these dining packages as the candlelight thing is like, you know, Desi, would you, again, you live close by, would you buy a dining package to be the first one to see it on the 5th?
No, when you said that there were dining packages, I was like, really? But isn't that also the same time that there's dining packages for Candlelight Processional? Can I do like one and done, like get a dining package with both? Is that an option? Because
can you double down?
Sign me up.
No, because these fireworks dining packages are impossible to get. That's like the asterisk. Like, they're so difficult. It's maybe slightly easier to find a table at Spice Road Table, but in my experience, like unless you are someone who is going for 2 weeks, they're just so hard to get, and they're popular. There's very limited seating and opportunity. So that I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with these after trying to get them for many clients, and they like don't exist.
They don't exist. Interesting. And however, I've found them a little bit easier to get, like the packages now that they've changed the dining. Like I got the Eat to the Beat, and they weren't there, and then they were there because I got them for the Boys to Men show, but they weren't there, and then they showed up again. So maybe they'll be easier with the new dining.
Yeah, and I will say, like, the fireworks packages in particular are the ones I find really difficult. The Candlelight Processional and the other festival related, I think that's much easier and there's much more availability, but the fireworks are elusive.
Gotcha. And Megan, I wasn't ignoring you on that one. Anything that you want to add to this before we move on?
I mean, I'm glad that the barges aren't as chunky and big right in the lagoon there. I always wonder, is there like something preventing them from having like World of Color, just fountains underneath the water coming out for the show? Just is the lagoon too deep or something, or is it? I don't know. I feel like they would benefit from something like that.
I would love to see that at Animal Kingdom, at that huge amphitheater that they made at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
And it hasn't come there. But one thing I have heard about this water is that it's like 90% toxic and 10% water, because for 40 years there have been fireworks shows in this lagoon over and over with just so many pyrotechnics that the story that was told to me was that when you had Epcot Forever, at first they had those LED kites that they would go around and do, and as soon as they would hit the water they would fry because of how toxic that water was, acidic that the water was. So then they decided to avoid them when they came back for the Epcot Forever revival. You don't get those LED kites anymore. But I don't know if that's the problem, that you don't want to spray water up that is not great and out towards people who are standing nearby, or
But we're still willing to put humans on jet skis
On boats.
in this
Oh,
water.
I thought you were going to say
oh,
boats.
boats. Why did there have to be boats? Exactly.
I was like, see, it's another example.
People, stay out of the water. There's sharks, there's boats, there's all kinds of things. Stay out of the water. I mean, but again, you make a good point. World of Color 1 is one of my favorite shows. I mean, it's so
the
good.
best. Yeah.
When Steve Rogers steps up and says, "On your left," I cry. It's just perfect. I love that show, top to bottom. That's a great show. And I'd love to see something like that at Animal Kingdom, because they have always said they can't do fireworks at Animal Kingdom because animals. So then do projections, but I don't know. Maybe there's more.
Like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and part of that maybe too is that they're going to have to submerge that platform, which apparently wasn't designed very well, which is why World of Color is always under construction. They lift it up, drain the stuff, and imagine taking all of that technology and drop it into this lake of death, I guess. I don't know. I could be making that up, but I was told that by someone, that there's a lot of toxicity in that water. So maybe the technology just can't go in there. I don't know. It's a good point. It's a good thing to ask.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Let's move on to other Epcot updates, because there were a couple other things that came up that I was like, this one really isn't a great standalone, but I do think there was a lot of new things that are happening at Epcot that we should talk about. One of them is that there are new columns coming up at the World of Celebration. So it's starting to take shape. I think we're all sick of the middle of this park having walls all over the place, that it's just like, can we just please be done? I mean, I think we've jokingly called it Walcott, but for way too long. And is everybody up on your World Celebration, World Discovery, and World Nature? You know what's what? You guys have all studied that here? Everybody knows? If I shout out, where is Imagination, Desi? What world is that in?
It's right next to World Nature. So is it World
It's World
Celebration?
Nature. No, it's World Nature.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
World Celebration is right up the gut, but apparently they've got World Celebration costume updates. So we don't have World Celebration yet. It's pretty much completely there's behind walls, but we have these new World Celebration outfits, I guess, that they've got ready already. So they're just pumping the stuff out when it's ready. That's good. Something else that happened at Epcot, which is fun, is Winnie the Pooh is back at Christopher Robin's room at the back of the UK Pavilion. Yeah, I mean, I kind of love that this seems like a very big surprise and delight sort of a situation, because I think most people probably don't know he's back there. So if you go back, you probably get a lot of quality time with Pooh. I see you grinning ear to ear. Do you love Winnie the Pooh, Kamila? Is this your guy?
I mean, I think the whole thing is very cute, and it reminds me of like once upon a time you could go into Morocco and you would see like Adam and Jasmine chilling back there, and there'd be no one else. And so, like, I just love, kind of seeing the characters in, I don't know, I guess like in like a themed area like this. I would love to have like a tea party with Alice somewhere in the UK pavilion as well, because she often meets somewhere over there. But I don't know, I would love if they would like continue to expand these ideas and, I don't know, do more. But I think it looks very cute, and I would love to meet, and I'm not even a character person, but I would love to meet Pooh in Christopher Robin's room like that.
Yeah. And when you say Jasmine and Adam, you mean Aladdin, or are you
Oh,
guys
Aladdin,
really tight?
sorry.
You guys really tight? I just want to make sure. I mean, there's a lot of Disney stuff I don't know, so maybe that's the thing.
That's what
no,
happened in the sequel. She kicked Aladdin to the curb for Adam.
I mean, that tracks. Speaking of tracks, I know that Megan was very excited that they added these Mars rover tracks to Mission Space. Megan, can you talk for 30 minutes about why you love this?
Well, what a fun thing to put on the ground in front of just the best ride at Epcot. I guess it needs all the help it can get. So, good job, guys. And I will not be going on that ride until it's not there anymore. So,
Gotcha.
yeah,
And
sorry. I am a Mission Space hater.
no, I got you, Desi. There was this blog that said that maybe the characters were leaving Living Seas. I think they're just out for a paint job. What are your thoughts?
Um, I thought the sequels were annoying, but they also, kind of added to it, I guess. So I could go either way. I don't care one way or the other if the seagulls are there. I thought they were cute. They added to the Nemo theming, but it was annoying. And I felt bad for the PhotoPass person who had to stand there all day next to the seagulls hearing mine, mine, mine for hours on end. So maybe it was just for the sanity of the cast members.
Could have been. Could have been. One last thing is they're changing the signage inside of the land. So it's matching the creations and the other signs that they have out in Epcot, which is kind of cool. Here's the new sign, and here's the old sign. Again, going to our fontographer on staff, Kamila. What are your thoughts about the new fonts?
It looks way better. Way better. It looked like the old one looked like we were in, I'm trying to think of like an old year, like, the 90s or something. And I just feel like it looks more modern. I think it looks good.
The 90s is the oldest year you could think of?
The font does look more up to date.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm mixed. It's like each land should have, or each pavilion, I think, should have its own personality, but at the same time, maybe it is good that we have a consistent look across Epcot. So I definitely think that's another thing that we can discuss later. Let's talk about the Disney 100, though, because this is a celebration that is so freaking confusing to me, because we started it in January in some places, and then another date in January 27th, it started at Disneyland. We started on September 22nd in Epcot, but it was already going on at Disney World. But the actual anniversary isn't until October 16th. But when we started the anniversary for Disney World, we started it on the actual date and went for 18 months. But in this one, we're leading up to it 10 months in advance. I mean, you've had to deal with more of it, Megan, on the West Coast. Make it make sense, please.
That is dizzying for sure. Yes. I mean, we got a head start in January with a new fireworks show and World of Color 1 and all this good stuff. Magic Happens came back shortly after that. I'm surprised that it's ending after what, 9 months over here, or I guess less than that now. World of Color 1 is the official show that's going away before the holidays, and then we're done. Nothing's coming back. So that's interesting for the West Coast, and yeah, it's so strange. Like we got such a head start, early 2023, starting D100, and then now all of a sudden it's actually going to Walt Disney World but not nearly as like blown up as it was over here. It was such a big deal. You know, we got all these new shows and everything, and I just don't feel like it's getting the same love on the East Coast. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not seeing that.
No, you're right. And the rumor I heard was that they actually sent some of the Disneyland stuff to Epcot. So as they're like, oh, let's take these banners down, let's send them to Epcot, and then celebrate
Wow.
it again. And it's like it's kind of like it's not new, it's new to you, because if you hadn't seen it, so there is
You'll probably,
there
yeah.
like I think some of
You'll
the
get some of
stuff
our
is
some of our statues.
yeah, exactly. But it looks like they did one that was an original statue because it has this spaceship Earth background to it. So at least this big, huge medallion is probably unique to the one in Florida, which is cool. But also, it's funny to me that we have finale, like the Disney 100 finale merchandise dropping at Disneyland. Like, hey, it's all wrapped up. And literally 10 days ago, we started this celebration in Florida at Epcot with the return of Disney soaring over California and the new outfits for Mickey and Minnie. And it's just, again, it's kind of all over the place. I feel like, Desi, it's not Disney if there's not at least 3 celebrations.
I maybe it's because we were still getting rid of the 50th stuff before we started getting 100th stuff, and we like last week finally got rid of the 50th medallions. So I don't know, but it's weird to me that all of the, like, you take a picture with Mickey for the 100th and there's like just hedges behind him because there's so many walls. So that's the best they can do, is just put some fake hedges, temporary hedges behind him. The merchandise does look super cute with the fireworks. But am I the only one who thinks that Spirit jerseys have run their course? Maybe it's just because I live in Florida and it's always hot here, but I'm not thrilled with the Spirit jerseys I've been seeing lately.
Well, you did it, Desi. We're going to get so much hate mail now. Thanks a lot. Spirit jerseys for life. I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't own any, so I'm going to recuse myself from this particular conversation. Kamila, Megan, thoughts? They're thinking.
I was a Spirit jersey person back in the day when they first came out, and they were kind of simple. Now that they have a lot of different designs, some of them are really busy for me with the patterns. I don't make that $80 purchase even with the discount these days. So it has to be like really amazing for me to do that. But yeah, I mean, I do like this collection. I think it's really cute. I like the fireworks myself. I think the ears are really nice. They light up and stuff, which I think is cool. But yeah, Spirit jerseys, not my thing. So I'm with you, Desi.
And apparently this is weird. This is a weird story for the Disney 100, is that they're giving the cast members Disney 100 commemorative name tags that they're not meant to wear.
This blows
Why
my
are you
mind.
making that face? Why are you making your face? Tell me.
Our cast members had these little cute little name tags for all these months with their favorite characters on them, and they got to pick, and like it was so special that they got to wear them for the D100. And I feel like bad that Walt Disney World customers are just getting something that they can take home. They're not even going to wear these. They're really pretty, don't get me wrong, but they're like not even picking a character. They don't get to wear them in public. Do you know what I mean? Like, it blows my mind. Sorry.
No, it was a really no. You're right, and I brought that up when the Disney 50th ended and they started the 100th, and they I think they went back to the normal cast member name tags and not the ones like you had in California, because that was a fun conversation. You wanted to see what each cast members said and go, why did you pick Edna Mode, or why did you pick Hank? Like, why? What is it that drove
Right.
you to pick this specific one? And then, of course, the questions were: could you have picked the Country Bears? Could you have picked Orange Bird? Could you have picked Figment? And the answer was no to all of those. But yeah, I mean, yes, you can choose Anakin Skywalker, but you can't choose Figment. Like, what's up with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. They were very cool, and it was a great conversation starter for cast members to interact with people. And I thought that was a pretty cool thing. And I'm a little sad as well that they never got that. But it just the fact that they're giving them commemorative name tags that you don't wear, it seems a little bit weird to me. But you know what? At least they're doing something for them. I love it when they do something for the cast members. Let's move on to Loki. I think that Desi, you're a little bit of a fan of Loki, aren't you?
Yes, Loki. Oh my goodness. So jealous that we can't have him here. I love the show. I'm sure we'll talk about it on Deep in the Plus, but it is the first ever Deep in the Plus I was on, and probably the first time I ever met Rob was because I bullied him into making me on the Loki episode because I just love the show so much. So I'm super jealous. Only thing that I thought was weird about the meet and greet was that Obi has just like a normal American accent. Like maybe they just thought it would have been racist to make him try to sound like Obi, but yeah, it was just like that's not what the character sounds like, but okay.
If you think you were jealous before, I mean, oh my God, is that Megan?
Ah,
What? That's
so
crazy.
jealous.
How was this meet and greet? How was it?
Oh, it was so fun. They were so cool. Look, it's always fun to talk to Loki, and meeting Obi was really special too. He was just kind of like following Loki around and getting the lay of the land at Avengers Campus. They were super cool. Super cool to talk to. Yeah, and I agree with you, Desi. I'm not sure about the accent and everything. I don't know how that would have gone by, especially over here in California. But he was still really cool to meet. He had his little TVA book that he was bringing out sometimes too. So yeah, just super fun that they are now walking around the campus.
And
Loki
did
has a British accent though, so I guess they're okay with that. Because I don't
And
think
and
that guy's
and
really
also what
British.
right, right. And it goes without saying the Dora Milaje, the Wakanda, you know, uh,
that's not a real Wakanda accent?
it's a
Are you
Wakandan
sure?
accent. Yes,
Hmm,
it's
okay.
written. Yeah.
One of the things that I love about Avengers Campus is the fact that after the show airs, they can do this, that they can drop these folks right into Avengers Campus. Same thing that they do at Galaxy's Edge out in California, which they should probably start doing now in Florida, as Patrick has said. Now that the timeline doesn't matter for the Star Cruiser, RIP, then now we should be able to. I know,
Too
Desi.
soon.
I know
Too
it's too soon.
soon.
I know. I'm sorry, both of you. I apologize profusely. But now that that's a thing, like let's have like Hera and Chopper and Ahsoka and all of them show up, in Galaxy's Edge. That would be great. I know. I know. We'll talk. We'll more in a little bit more on the post show. But I need to know: did you try this key lime pie, Megan?
I have not yet. Allie got to it before I did, but
Uh,
I definitely want to try it this week. Yeah,
That's the
I
only
like
other
key lime
thing
pie.
that I really love is Pym Test Kitchen. I love all the food from Pym's Test Kitchen. That's a neat place to go and visit if you guys have not had the
I
opportunity yet.
I want to
It's a
know
good
if key
spot.
lime pie actually shows up at any point during the season, or if they just picked it because it was green.
Low, low key lime.
Low key lime pie. Yeah, that's the word play.
Yeah, that's the joke. I
Uh,
don't think we're gonna see any. Sorry, I apologize. Picking on you a little bit more, Megan, because you're out there. Disneyland Entertainment. You went and saw the new night show.
Yes, I did. Yes,
Uh,
Heartbeat of New
um,
Orleans. Yeah.
yeah, tell us a little bit about the new nighttime show and what you think about it. I know it's a filler for Fantasmic.
It's that's giving it a lot of credit. I
Oh,
am sorry. I love the band and the amazing jazz singer, the jazz band that comes on the float and goes across for a little bit around like 8 p.m. They're amazing, and the float looks so good. The water's going behind them. Love that. The show came on, and I was expecting like an actual. Okay, so yeah, there's the projections, right? And the music's really good. It's a cute little story. It's definitely like just this little animated thing that they created, the story they created. It is 4 minutes long. I thought there were going to be characters like on the stage or something behind it, like Fantasmic. It's literally just water projections and music for 4 minutes. So, you know, it's cute for New Orleans, I guess. And for obviously Tiana's Palace, it's a little like thing to go with that, but it does not replace Fantasmic by any sense. And then, yeah,
it's a filler. It's a filler until that happens.
Filler.
It's kind of like if you had Harmonious and then you put in a kiteless EPCOT Forever. It was kind of like that, maybe. I don't know. A lot of people love EPCOT Forever. And then Paint the Night, one of my all-time favorite parades. Apparently, this is not coming back until 2025. You're all excited about it, though. You're doing this. Why? But I mean, I'm excited it's coming back, but it's 2023. This is not coming back till 2025. That's
Is that the rumor?
That's a long time. That's a long time.
It is a long time. I thought it was going to be next year, but that's okay. I thought they were calling people back to audition, or entertainment was coming back specifically for that one next year. But yeah, that's a little bit of a long time. That is one of my favorite parades as well. And as much as I love Magic Happens, I am stoked that Paint the Night is coming back, or could be coming back soon.
But they can coexist, right? They can coexist because Magic Happens is more of a daytime, and Paint the Night, yeah. I would love to see Paint the Night return sooner than later. Well, there's been all kinds of rumors they were going to bring it to Disney World. That would have been great too, but apparently they're holding off for the 70th anniversary of, because you got to wait for a celebration, but apparently the 70th anniversary of Disneyland will start on its birthday as opposed to the 100th, as we've talked about, which who knows. And then bad news for Desi, apparently no Brink show for you. They're going to be, all of this testing for the rollerbladers was for a new parade. Sorry.
It's breaking my heart all over the place, Rob.
Breaking your heart or brinking your heart?
I mean, we don't know that the people in this parade aren't doing a little Brink segment. It's still possible. I hope they all show up in Team Pup and Suds t-shirts.
So you think these are soul skaters in disguise, is what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And finally for the Disneyland entertainment,
the best ecom.
We need to stop right now. We need to stop right now. For the last thing on Disneyland Entertainment, and this is for Kamila, who is now a huge fan of Rogers the Musical after fighting us on it for so long. Apparently, it is set to return. That they're going to bring it back. I Can Do This Again. It would be coming back in 2024. How are you feeling, Kamila? Are you sad that you went out there already to see it, or are you waiting to go back and see it again?
I will absolutely work to go back and see it again. What sucks is I think the rumor is that it's going to come back in February, and I'll be there in early January, so I'll just miss it. But it just means I have to find another chance to get out there again. But no, I think this is great news. I think it's such a well done show, and I just feel like not enough people got a chance to see it. Rob, you need to buy tickets and just make your way down there to go see it. That's how well done I think it really is. And so I'm very happy and hope I can make it back to see it again. Okay.
Yeah, I'm down with that. But again, a lot of flux going on with Disneyland Entertainment, so it's an exciting time for that. Let's finish off the night with the DVC stuff, because who doesn't love Disney Vacation Club stuff? There is a new tower that is now officially open out in California, and there's merch. Oh my gosh. I mean, get me that merch. I don't really know that I'll ever get to stay there, but I definitely need to get some of that merch. The problem is that I don't know if I'll ever be able to get in, because California rooms for DVC are so limited and scarce. It's going to be a problem. Megan, have you been out to the building and taken a look around and taken it all in?
I have. I've explored a little bit, saw the water play area, saw some of the rooms. Very pretty, brand spanking new. They got a little more features than the regular towers at Disneyland Hotel. And it's looking really good. I love the artwork. So it's pretty cool, not gonna lie. And they have some pretty nice rooms.
Were you standing out here on one of these balconies?
I was not. No. think those
The
are is
tower
that
has a
staff? That's staff.
yeah, the
Cast
towers
members,
have
yeah.
officially opened. We I think have a couple walkthroughs on our website wdwnt.com if you guys want to check it out. But also, I just think it's really awesome when a place has its own merch. The other DVC thing that happened, or that we missed the announcement on, was that that Disney has filed a permit for those new DVC cabins that we knew were coming to Fort Wilderness. I've heard a lot of hate on these things because the people are like, it looks like HGTV stepped in, and we're going to lose some of the, the what's the word I'm looking for, the charm of the old ones. But I went and stayed in one of the old ones, and it definitely smells like camping. That's for sure. No, I mean, I'd never been back to one, and I was pleasantly surprised. That I mean, you drive right up to the cabin, which I love that. And then, especially after a long day in the parks, the last thing you want to do is get dropped off at the bus stop and then try to trek halfway across Coronado Springs to your room. So the idea that you just pull right up to it, the setup inside was cool. It was really glamping, and so I don't know why this needs to happen. Other than the fact that if it's DVC and DVC points and we're selling more of them. But Kamila, is this something that you book for people, the existing cabins, and has interest spiked since they said they might go away?
Yeah, I do book these. I have not heard any feedback around if they will change them or book them. I actually have a couple of families where each year they book a stay here, and we just haven't gotten around to booking their next one yet. But I don't know. There's a part of me that I'm kind of interested in the new version. I feel like the old ones, they were, polarizing is not the right word, but you were either interested in them or it was absolutely not. And even people who sometimes, maybe because of the size of their party and availability, would need them, you still had to kind of explain some of the nuances. You may want to have your own car, or if not, we may need to rent you a golf cart, because to your point, Rob, from the bus stop, it could be a really far walk, and they're really designed for you to take advantage of some of the amenities. So I don't know, I feel if you love camping, and you probably loved it, but there were a lot of people where it's just not the Disney experience they wanted. And you disagree with me on this, but I feel not that many people would book them. Sometimes I'll look and nothing will be available except the cabins, but it's a very specific type of person that you would book the cabin for. And so I think Disney is hoping this will help get them filled up a little bit better.
Yeah, I guess
it's just my theory.
I ran into a lot of situations trying to get one where I couldn't get in. And then I would sometimes book one and go, let me back away from this and go ahead and do Art of Animation. But it's, it was a better deal than Art of Animation. It was really in that moderate range. It wasn't quite as expensive as the Deluxe, but it was going to be more expensive than your Pop Century and All Stars. So it was a unique experience. I'm glad I had it. I will look forward to going back in the DVC. The DVC buildings are there, but I think that the rest of the camping experience is still going to be there, right? You're still going to be able to do hoop-de-doo review. You're still going to be able to go, to the general store, and all those things will still exist. It's just that these cabins will have had an upgrade, and I think
or
that
rent a campsite.
No, I'm not trying to do that. No, I'm not trying to get that. I'm not trying to get that rustic out here. I'm just saying. But anyway. All right, so thank you guys for being with us tonight. Let's go back to the poll one last time and just take a final look. But I think that Christmas cleaned up here. Actually, we had both came up right underneath that one, and then neither, and then Halloween. So I was way off base thinking that everybody was going to be talking about Halloween. But when you have to make one choice, Christmas is fun. I love going when it's just a little chill in the air to Disney and EPCOT, and going on the cookie stroll, or doing Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And I challenged my son one time to get a cookie and a beverage from each of the stations during that. He gave up because he doesn't like peppermint when he had the peppermint cookie, but the rest of that worked out pretty fun. So I think there's a lot of fun times ahead. I'm looking forward to talking about it more on ParksCenter as we move forward. I want to give a shout out to our WIGS members. We love our WIGS, the WDWNT Interglobe Society. That's our Patreon. That's our little family here. And thank you guys for watching and being with us tonight. We have a post show for you right after this. So y'all stick with us so that you can do the post show. But if you want to learn more about it, go to patreon.com. /WDWNT. Also, don't forget to join us for Deep in the Plus this week. We're talking about Ahsoka. Desi is going to be on that one. Have you done your homework already, Desi? Have you watched all the episodes?
I've watched all the episodes, but not all of the animated ones.
The Rebels? You haven't watched Rebels? Okay, we're gonna have an interesting conversation on Wednesday night. It's gonna be you, Mr. Nicholas Cicero, Ron Deanna, and myself. We're gonna be talking about Ahsoka. So hopefully you guys can join us, and it's always a fun time when we get the Star Wars crew together and talk about stuff. If you missed it last week, Ron and I were on talking about Frankenweenie, so you can check that out as part of spooky season. And I mean, we need to get Megan on now because Kamila's been on Deep in the Plus and Desi's been on. We're not going to do Brink, Megan, so don't get your hopes up about that. But if you have some other random decom you want to do, like, let me know. We'll do it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being with us. We hope you have a great week. We appreciate you watching ParksCenter. Tell a friend and make sure to leave a comment. We love to hear from you. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Dun, dun,
Get it.
dun, 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 dun. There is a person at my front door.
What? There is a person. Leave it alone. Don't go. Tell him you're doing important stuff.
I just looked down at my phone and like my ring told me there's a person detected. Like,